Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live, Favorites Podcast, Favorites Channel, Favorites Everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasubs.com, discount code 25% off for all your protein and workout and just life products. All right, so today we're doing Marcus Mbow and Corey Schwesinger.
Carson, by the way.
Oh, Carson, almost. Yeah, I don't mess it up. Let me fix that before we get here.
I saw it pull up on the ticker. I'm like, oh, I don't know. When do I say something?
Got to fix here. Here we go, guys. Bam. Carson Schwesinger. Sorry, Carson. I messed up your name there. Again, that's what we do here on the show. But yeah, we're getting more complainer in the comments. I guess the more views you like. People don't like that. They don't like the you messing up names here. So all right. So Ed Carson Schwesinger. So we're doing those two guys. We're gonna be looking at a guard and he played tackle, but he has 32-inch arms. He's playing guard. And Corey Schwesinger, who is a linebacker.
Carson
Schwesinger.
At least we got it right on the ticker now.
yeah, Carson Schwesinger. We go over here, him, and making sure we get all that. Check out him out. But first, let's start off with Geno Smith, who's an easy name to say, who finally got his contract. Came out to a 3-year extension. I got $66 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Right. And then kind of like basically similar to Sam Darnold's overall, like when you look at everything around it. But so what were your thoughts on the extension?
Well, I think part of it too, like Pro Football Talk kind of released more of the details. Like obviously as we've come to know over the last few years, when the numbers first come out, there's a bunch of funny money and involved in it, some fluff money. And I think it comes out to like a 3-year or 2-year deal, where they can basically walk away. Like 2027 is basically like a team option. So I think it's like exactly kind of what we expected and a pretty good deal for the Raiders. I mean, again, you get a starting quarterback for, I know it's $40 million or whatever it comes out to, including his like existing contract with the Seahawks. So for $40 million for the next 3 years, like that ranks like 15th among starting quarterbacks. That's a pretty good deal for a guy that I think is the best starter since at least Carr left. So seemed like a pretty good deal, pretty good extension, I guess worth the wait, if you will. And an option for if the Raiders want to draft somebody this year. Again, I think it's probably a little bit more likely at this point next year, maybe, unless they go with like a Jalen Milroe, who's like a 1 to 2 year project type of guy, that they have an out if that guy ends up being ready to play in the near future, or whoever the quarterback of the future is. So yeah, I like the deal a lot. I think this is the best case scenario for the Raiders when they traded for Geno Smith, is getting this basically 2-year deal with the third-year option on an older quarterback, where if you find someone in the next 2 draft classes or in either of the next 2 draft classes, you can kind of move on pretty easily from him and turn the reins over.
Yeah. And I think, the problem with the deal was, I mean, he wanted like $45 million at first, right, with the Seahawks. And probably when he got traded to the Raiders, that's what he was thinking. But then, Sam Darnold got signed and he was only getting about $33 million a year. And then you look at like Baker Mayfield's contract, and Baker Mayfield's only making like $33 million a year. And you put those, is Geno Smith better than Baker Mayfield at this point? Like at this point in time, when you're kind of looking at the last 2 seasons that they played, I mean, Baker Mayfield has really ascended, and Geno Smith's put in a position where you're like, okay, I mean, you didn't produce like that. I mean, you can look at the advanced stats that he really did, but it put him in a tougher position than I probably thought that he was gonna get before he got traded, because if Darnold got $40 million, then it probably would be a lot different. He probably would have got more money, but Darnold getting that lower money, and then especially when it's comparable to Baker Mayfield, and you're looking at Geno Smith, like how much better are you than Baker Mayfield that I'm going to give you $12 million more than him? So yeah, it had to come to a head where he's only taking that kind of 1 year $40 million deal, but the annual is about 37. So yeah, it worked out pretty well in my opinion, because that way that you're right. If they do draft a quarterback, that option is still there for them, because that guy can just sit out a year, and then you could just kind of make the move and put that guy in as a starter the next year, and Geno's gone. So it works out, and it's just with his age too. He's an older player, and you don't know with a older player that is not like a stud quarterback their whole career. I mean, that fall off comes a lot quicker than a Stafford. Yeah, Stafford hasn't fallen off yet because he's Matthew Stafford. He's
right.
Been a consistently good, great quarterback his whole career. His fall off is not going to be the same as somebody who's Geno Smith, who went from like bad to good.
Yeah,
bad might come back a lot quicker than a quarterback that is like I said, good to great their whole career. They could last a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Like even Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan at 36 wasn't bad, but as soon as he hit 37 at 38, they just fell off the cliff. You know what I mean? So it happens to guys like that. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I do think it's kind of funny too. Like part of the reason why he left Seattle is because he wasn't getting the contract negotiation that he wanted, and part of the reason why he didn't get the money he was hoping for with the Raiders is because the Seattle kind of screwed him over not screwed him over, but like ended up screwing him up with signing Darnold to like a cheaper deal, and I think a lot of people expected. So it's kind of funny how that all worked out. But yeah. I also saw too, like I think PFT posted this, like there's something where like the only like 18 million is guaranteed, I think, in 2026 or something like that. And like if they cut them by like the third year day of the league year or something, that's all they'll be on the hook for. So there's even an option to eat a little bit of money, but you can move on next year if things don't go well this year. So it seems like it was structured pretty well. And honestly, more of a team-friendly contract for considering the quarterback market that we've seen over the last couple of years. It's not like the Kirk Cousins or the Deshaun Watson deal where you're kind of screwed and handcuffed for a while. Like this is a pretty good deal for the Raiders.
Yeah, because I mean, to be honest, Baker Mayfield really reset the market. People talk about Sam Darnold, but when you look at how Mayfield's played, he's only making $33 million a year, and then he's throwing 40 touchdowns. Like you really have to put some of these contracts, kind of look at it, with face value. Like, are you really that much better than Baker Mayfield where I'm paying you that much money? You kind of saw the same thing happen to Darnold because people were expecting Darnold to get 40 million. He ended up getting just as much as Baker Mayfield because if I am a team, that's what I'm saying. Like, are you better than Baker Mayfield? Like, seriously, are you? Are we sure about that? I don't know, Sam. And I don't know, Gino. So that money has to be, kind of looked at overall. And then, Josh Allen getting 55 million, he's not getting 60 or 63 more than Dak Prescott to kind of reset everything for even like Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy now, like, are you better than Josh Allen? Yeah. I'm not giving you 60 million. So a lot of those things are happening right now with the quarterbacks, but I think it's what should happen because these guys were getting paid too much. Daniel Jones, so crazy. So yeah, that's nuts.
I hear you.
Yeah. What else we got? Joe Milton was part of the little trade. Got traded to the Cowboys for a fifth.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it was it fifth and a seventh, or was it Joe Milton and a seventh for the fifth?
Joe Milton and a seventh for a fifth.
Gotcha. So yeah, it was that one was interesting because I think it came out after the fact that like not only were the Raiders but like the Steelers and the Giants were also involved, and they said I think Jordan Schultz was the one who reported it, said like the Pats had a better offer, but they let him like choose where he wanted to go out of respect for him, and he chose the Cowboys, which with Dak under contract, like if you're going over the cap, just go ahead and do yourself a favor. Look at how hard that contract is for them to get out of. I think obviously it's not going to happen this year, but if they were, to put it in perspective, they were going to eat like 180 million on it. Mm-hmm. Like it's not an easy contract for Dallas to get out of. So there's not really a clear path for him to be the starter. And I know Dak's polarizing because he's the Cowboys quarterback. I think Dak's a worthy starting quarterback in this league. Yeah. And going to be around for a while. So it's interesting to me that he'd want to go to Dallas. Like I know some people have said like he grew up like a Cowboys fan and everything, but I'm like, at the same time, like you got to think about your career. Whereas you go to the Raiders, and obviously we're biased a little bit here, but you go to the Raiders, you go to Pittsburgh, you go to New York, like you have a clear path to be able to start. There's a vision to start. Whereas you go to Dallas and it's like you just want to be like Jerry Jones's puppet so that they can keep talking about the Dallas Cowboys backup quarterback in the media, or do you want to play? It was weird to me that he would pick that spot, even though there seems to be some sort of ties. But yeah, that was an interesting one.
You must be scared of Aiden O'Connell, Matt.
Maybe AOC will save us.
But yeah, seriously, I agree with that because when it comes to like starting, like he wants to be a starter, like you're not going to start there anytime soon unless Dak gets hurt. And then, I mean, even if Dak gets hurt, you get traded again. You know what I mean? Like, and you play well. Like, what does that even mean? And even, you know, I know the Patriots traded him because he played well week 18, and they don't want that. They don't want that. Oh, the birds start chirping if Drake May starts 0-3 this year, right? Like, play Joe Milton. Like, they don't want that. And that's kind of like a Bill Belichick thing. The same reason why he cut Cam Newton when they got Mac Jones in. But when it comes to like where he wanted to go, I mean, even the Steelers or Giants were better fits for him as well. But you know, we don't know what the Raiders offered and when they offered it, because I mean, if they offered it after they traded for Geno Smith, maybe they're like, you know, if he's like see his way to start there, maybe, I don't know, but it is interesting. I don't know why he picked the Cowboys. I guess it's just kind of like a fan thing. He's the for sure backup. But I mean, he has to hope Dak gets hurt, and then they're not going to move on from Dak. I mean, if they trade Dak for Joe Milton, that'd be crazy. But yeah,
it is weird, and it's also like the Cowboys. It's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is in his senile era, man. Like the fact he traded for Trey Lance, traded a 4th-round pick for Trey Lance, and played one game for him, and now he's trading more assets for another backup quarterback when he could have just re-signed Cooper Rush. I don't know if Cooper Rush is signed anywhere, but it's like, dude, what are you doing? Doesn't make sense on either end, but that's good old Jerry. He just wants to stay in the headlines, I guess.
Yeah, Cooper Rush is the Ravens, I guess. The Ravens.
Oh, he went to the Ravens?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. But I don't. He gave a 4th-round pick for Jonathan Mingo, so I mean, you don't have to.
Also true.
So they don't have a 4th and 5th-round pick for it. Joe Milton and Jonathan Mingo.
All right. Best of luck with that.
Yeah, and they still don't have a running back. They draft a running back. I mean, there's a big running back class, but they let Rico. They let what's his the other
Dowdle?
Dude?
Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, Rico Dowdle left. They let what's his name? The dude
Zeke.
Not Zeke, and then the guy who was supposed to replace Zeke. After they let Zeke go, they let him go too. He went to the Titans and he had 1,000 yards last year.
Tony Pollard.
Yeah, there you go.
Talking about this year.
I was like, Tony. Yeah, I didn't want to mess up his name because I was about to say Jefferson. So I was about to say Jefferson, but I knew it was Tony something. But yeah, he got 1,000 yards with the Titans last year too. So I mean, they're just not really helping Dak too much either, which is super interesting. But
good old Cowboys, man.
They
got us to talk about him for 5 minutes. So
yeah, damn Cowboys. All right, let's get to Carson Schwesinger and Marcus Mbow. So tell us a little bit about Carson Schwesinger.
Yeah, so I talked about him a little bit, I think, in the past, but dude who's got a pretty cool story. I mean, he was a former walk-on who like never played this year, and now he's one of the top linebackers in the country. Was an All-American this year. He led the country in solo tackles with like 90. And we'll kind of see, like, I got a bunch of clips of him just kind of flying around on the field. And again, like he wasn't even the starter until week 2 of this year, week 4, excuse me, of this past season to paint the picture for you. And he was super productive. Guy that they have, I'm going to butcher his name, Femi Oladejo, I believe is his last name. Ended up switching from off-ball linebacker to on the edge, and Schwesinger stepped in and again became an All-American. But plenty of fast, really good athlete. We'll see a lot of good clips of him with some range and kind of using his athleticism against the run, and then in coverage as well too. I mean, pretty damn good in both of those areas. My biggest concern with him is his ability to take on blocks in the running game is pretty bad. He's not strong or not very strong at the point of attack. He did put on about like 15 pounds at the combine, which should help. And has maintained that throughout his pro day. He's up to like 242, and if he keeps those same movement skills, he'll be a force to work with. But definitely needs some work in that area. And the other part that worries me is like he doesn't really use his like quickness and athleticism to make guys miss on the second level to slip blocks and whatnot. But as far as looking at his whole package, where he's a younger prospect and doesn't have a ton of experience, and again, super really good athlete. I think he's got a higher ceiling in the NFL where he could be one of the first linebackers off the board outside of that first round, of course. Outside of the guys like Jalen Walker and Jahad Campbell, he could be the third linebacker taken in that second round just because of his potential. And again, we've only had one season of him, but it was a pretty damn good season where he really made a name for himself. So definitely an interesting guy to watch on tape.
Yeah, I just looked. Lance Zierlein has him ranked over Jihad Campbell. So
interesting,
which is very interesting. So I'm very interested to see what he looks like on film. I know that's been somebody the Raiders fans are talking about, been taking, wanting him to be join the football team. So it's somebody definitely interested in looking at, just because I've been hearing a lot about him. But that's interesting. He basically didn't start until this year, and he's got this buzz. And now he's looking to be a second round draft pick. And he does have a 39-inch vertical, so there's athleticism there, but.
39-inch vertical again at like 242, which he was listed at like 225 during the season. But former walk-on. So Disney-esque story, man. From walk-on to a zero-star recruit and walk-on to a potential first, second round pick.
Yeah, man, it sounds like a movie. He has that long hair, so they can get a good actor for him and make a.
He's from LA too. He's from. He went to Oaks Christian, which is where the Kardashians go. Paint the picture for you. Okay. So he's got the movie looks and the LA ties already too, and the story.
The Calabasas walk on over here. Okay,
here we go.
Pure UCLA right there, man. All right, so I did Marcus Mbow. Marcus Mbow is a right tackle for Purdue, but he has 32-inch arms, so he's moving inside. Let's just start there. And he's undersized, so he is about, I think he's 6'4", 300 pounds as well. So he's a little undersized when you look at him. But he did play right guard his whole sophomore year. So sophomore year, he played right guard the whole year. So he has basically some film of him playing guard. So you feel comfortable with that and seeing him, what he can do during that. And even during that season, he has some pretty decent PFF grades, especially in pass blocking, insides. So there is a lot of film of him playing guard. So you can see the transition and what he could do well. He has great feet, athletic. He's an athletic freak, in my opinion, at the position. I don't know what a 4.67 20-yard shuttle is in percentile, but you could just see his movement skills is pretty special. But it also comes back that he's very dependent on it. And sometimes he can, a lot of oversetting, and he's able to use his athleticism to recover against certain players. But like sometimes that's not in the NFL, that's not gonna work. You're not gonna be able to recover every single time, right? He has great hands though. His hands are, because even with his short arms, he always finds a way to get his hands up first. And so that really helps him in the run game. He's perfect for his zone, but he does it pretty well, pulling as well because he's so fast, and he's a snatch and trap guy, which I always like. So, nice. But there is some things, like I said, like his feet and his overall with his sets, and especially when he's doing jump sets and things like that, he can overset a lot, and he always kind of allows people to win inside with him. And that's the issue, because as soon as you see that on the NFL, they're going to be doing that to him all the time, and he's not going to be able to cover against the better pass rushers in the NFL. It's not going to work against that. But he is very athletic, and you probably won't have to worry about that too much if you move him inside, though. Mm-hmm. But when you move him inside, you have to just worry about a little bit of a play strength issue sometimes as well. So there are some things where you feel like where I see him being like maybe that third round or that fourth round pick type of thing, that perfect spot to draft a guard. But there are some things he does need to work on, but there is some very impressive things to tape, especially in pass protection, just because his hands are what stands out about him is his hands. He has great hands punch timing, everything is there. It's just sometimes the feet don't match. So it can get a little ugly there.
Yeah, I haven't studied Mbow much, but my biggest exposure to him was at the Senior Bowl, where like kind of a lot of what you're talking about, where like when he was in the one-on-ones and he was at tackle, like it was looking pretty rough, and it was a lot of what you're talking about, a lot of the oversets, sometimes the arm length kind of catch up to him. But he looked really good at guard. Like it was like clear in Mobile. It's like, all right, this pretty much solidified that you're probably a guard at the next level. Like it was almost like a night and day difference where. When he's in the tighter areas, like he's kind of cleaning up his sets and whatnot. And obviously, because you can't move quite as far because you don't have as much room to the outside. Yeah. But it looked a lot better. But yeah, the biggest question is going to be the play strength, because 300 pounds on the interior is going to be pretty damn light. So That'd be my biggest thing about his transition. But if I remember, is he pretty young, or am I confusing him with Mbow? I feel like he might have been young too.
He's a redshirt junior, so he might be pretty young. Hold on.
So yeah, he's probably like 22, something like that, or going to be 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 22 years old, 2003. So yeah. Oh, just turned 22. Happy birthday, April 2nd.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He's a young player, and you can move him to guard. He's played there before, and he played pretty well in college at guard. So it's not a crazy transition. But I just like how athletic he is, and when you can get somebody that's an athlete like that, usually, especially if you get him in zone and just the way he moves, I can work with that. I can work with that when you play like that. And I think he's going to be pretty good in pass protection inside too. I think that's going to be something he can do really well, especially when you got these more athletic, 3 techniques. He'll be able to keep up with them, as an athlete inside. So that's for sure. All right, let's get into Carson Schwesinger first. So let's check him out.
All right, start off with a couple of clips of Carson Schwesinger's range here. Obviously, this is one's against the pass. But like good example of kind of the speed he has. I think the end zone view actually shows his speed a little bit better in this, because he is going to kind of pull up here, thinking this corner is going to make the tackle, and then kind of kicks it in that second gear. I mean, you can kind of see it right there, how he just eats up space between like the hash and the numbers and ends up making the touchdown saving tackle here. So again, good example. A little more traditional range here against the run, going to be on the backside of this little outside zone call. And this is kind of a little bit of a preview. Like you can kind of see, like as soon as he recognizes the outside zone, just kind of gets to his landmark. And I mean, we're going from, a little bit further than the hash to the bottom of the college numbers to go over there and make this solo tackle about yard past line of scrimmage. So yeah, just kind of the space he can cover against the run. Now, this one I really like too, because you're going to see him step down and cover that gap right there against that inside zone look, and then show off his change of direction and agility to go make this play. Again, like you can see the same thing, like step down, cover this gap, take that away. And then as soon as the running back's making the cut, I mean, I paused this pretty well. Like you can see he mirrors him perfectly. Again, just having the speed and athleticism to make this play. Ends up beating the corner to the running back there. Now, on his instincts, he does get a little bit of help on this play here because it looks like he's going to be blitzing. But what I like about this is he adjusts his path here. Like he's going to see both the guard and the tackle pull here on the counter look from Hawaii, and then just attacks the opening, adjusts his path a little bit, and ends up getting involved in the tackle. Would like to see him stay on balance a little bit here. This is a little bit of what I'm talking about, where like he's not great at taking on blocks. Just kind of gets a little bit of a push from the puller here and falls off balance. Might have tripped a little bit actually, but you can see a little bit of an example of it. But definitely a hustle player who's going to, like I said, fly around the field.
Wow.
There's a little Troy Polamalu here. I don't know if it's necessarily instincts, but I just kind of wanted to show it because it's a cool play. Again, just blitzing here and times it up perfectly. Go make the tackle. Isaiah Polamalu will like this one.
Yeah, I know.
Up right there. All right, so this is actually one of Schwesinger's better jobs taking on a block, and a big reason why he's able to do it is because again he just reads it quickly. Like as soon as he sees this guard start to pull on the counter look, he starts crashing downhill, and he ends up beating the tight end to the spot. So that gives him enough time to just kind of sink his hips and get his pads down. Like you can see a good example of it. I mean, he's damn near in an ass to grass squat right there.
Yeah.
And ends up making the tackle and with the one arm.
It's a good play.
Again, this is more the traditional how he kind of makes a lot of plays. We'll see a lot of examples like this. Nebraska tries to get a little tricky with the little fake jet sweep. Really, it's just duo. And ends up meeting the running back in the hole, drop the pads, make a nice tackle. Good tackler too. Good tackling form.
Yes.
Let's see which one. Oh yeah, this one. This one I like too because like you can see like pre-snap. I don't know what tipped him off. It was the motion or what. But as soon as he sees this tight end get into the formation, I mean, he's already calling it out right now.
Yeah.
And I like this too. Like I showed this a little bit, I think, with Knight, where like he's going to protect this little cutback lane here. Like, right. He's a little bit more measured instead of just flying to the outside and opening that lane up for the running back. And then wait till the running back like kind of passes it to really hit it. And again, just meet the running back in the hole, drop the pads, make a nice tackle. This one, again, great read on the counter here. It looks like originally they're going to have him kind of blitz and come downhill, but then once he sees the guard pull, come over the top, end up getting an unblocked tackle right there.
Yes.
Give him the numbers advantage because that tight end's got his eyes on the other linebacker.
He does a great job of reading and recognizing things.
Yeah. And which is impressive because, again, he hasn't played that much. I mean, I know he was obviously on the scout team and whatnot to get some experience, but he doesn't have a ton of game reps at linebacker and still reads plays like this. Like,
he just must have been watching film for 4 years.
Exactly, yeah. Give him credit, man. And then this one, like, I kind of talked about this a little bit with Knight. One of the things that really separates like linebackers with good instincts is that like patience to let the hole develop in front of them and then attack it. Like, right. Like he starts scraping over the top right there. He just kind of lets the hole naturally open up, then hits it. And we end up getting the tackle right at the line of scrimmage again. All right. Moving on to a few reps in coverage. Again, this one was at the end of the game against Hawaii, 3rd and forever. So it does get a little bit of help with the situation here. But good example of his ability to kind of click and close, make a nice form hit there too, and bring the wood a little bit. Being 245.
He's athletic as hell, man. How did he not play?
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess just being a walk-on. I mean, Chip wouldn't give him a scholarship, man, and then I guess maybe he did at the end, but yeah, good find by Chip in the on the walk-on list. Doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
Similar rep here. Biggest difference is we're forcing the fumble this time. End up, I think this won the game for UCLA because this was a closer game than it should have been. But again, just another nice close. This time we're punching the ball out, create the turnover.
Well, UCLA is the worst quarterback I've ever seen, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. This time just against a little RPO look. Again, another nice read here. And then ends up covering the tight end out in the flat. Again, see the speed. Go from one hash to, I guess, halfway between the hash and the numbers on that one and go out and make the play. So again, just super rangy against both the run and the pass. So now you're starting to see a little bit why this guy's getting some love in the linebacker rankings from a lot of people. Now I will say this one, I was laughing at this guard here. Like he clearly is looking for the peel back block and misses Schwesinger. But again, like you can see a great example of him just closing on the screen, make the tackle. I don't know what this guard was thinking. Maybe we blocked the athletic dude, but hey.
Yeah. Maybe he's coached to do that. Maybe he's coached to do that. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Again, this was actually the very next play. I don't know why Minnesota ran one screen and it didn't work, and then they tried it again on 3rd down. But again, like this one is actually a better example of his like speed and how much of a factor it can be. Because the center's eyeing him up right here, but he reads it and it's just too fast that he just ends up beating the block. And again, another nice tackle in the open field. Had to redirect a little bit on that one too. So good open field tackler. Got plenty of speed. A lot to like about his game. Again, nice job sinking the hips right here. Go make that tackle. Let's see. This one, he's actually going to save his teammate a little bit. I think this was 3rd down. Yeah. 3rd down. Ends up, again, closing. See the range again. Go from middle of the field to beyond the college numbers and end up making a tackle. Does get away with the horse collar, but it's only a horse collar if the refs call it. But again, you can see the speed and his ability to just flow sideline to sideline. You look at it here from the end zone view. Also pretty good at reading the quarterback's eyes, which we'll see an even better example of here in a second. This time against Raiola, who loves to stare down reads. But again, just kind of playing as the little middle hook defender. Eyeing Raiola, obviously. Got his eyes in the backfield, steps in the passing lane. Has the speed to be able to go get the PBU here. Covered quite a bit of ground here. I mean, we're about halfway between the middle field and the hash mark. Ends up going to the other hash and getting a piece of that ball. Again, definitely can contribute on 3rd downs. Pretty good in coverage. We'll see a few pass rush clips from him too. I think he had like 4 sacks, I want to say, last year. A couple PBUs. Yeah, nice job just making a play of the ball. This one was really damn impressive because with the coverage that UCLA is in, he kind of opens towards the
Oh wow.
he's going to start it opening towards the sideline. He's going to be like the Tampa 2 dropper here for him. Opens towards the sideline, takes a peek at these two receivers, sees no threats, right? We got the little short curl here, the hook route, and then the go route here from the outside. So once he recognizes that, now he's going to open up to the other side. I mean, you see a nice little hip flip for a linebacker and sees this short drag route and then the post from the outside receiver. Initially opens up his hips to go take care of the drag route. But again, we got our eyes on the quarterback. Good job seeing the receiver here while eyeing the quarterback. And once he sees the quarterback wants the post, now we open our hips up again and step in the passing lane and make a pick. So again, this is kind of the great example of his movement skills and those fluid hips to make a play in coverage.
Yeah, that's impressive. I like that.
Yeah, a little DB-like a little bit.
Yes, what I was saying. Like, he's athletic as hell.
Yeah.
You can just tell,
athletic.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say athletic and good instincts. So it's a wonder why he didn't see the field. But
hey, you see that balance? Even that spin move right there.
Yeah. Maybe you can tote the rock a little bit too.
I know, right?
This one again, a little scramble drill. Good eyes here too. Like you can tell he has good peripheral vision because he's still eyeing the quarterback, but he's moving with his man, moving with the receiver here. On scramble drill, lose him a little bit, but again, linebacker against a wide receiver, like that's kind of going to happen. That's not a great matchup. And even so, he recovers to go dig this ball out and make a nice pick.
Nice.
So yeah, maybe you're right, man. Maybe he's got a future at tight end too, because that was pretty good hands.
Yeah. Seriously, that's good. Yeah. That's also why a little lower in Caleb Johnson too.
Yeah.
Makes
sense. Oh, was that Johnson?
Yeah, that was Johnson right there. Right?
Yeah, my bad. I said wide receiver, so I screwed that one up.
Yeah.
Again, a little bit of him as a pass rusher, technically dropping in coverage, but ends up inserting himself into the rush once Raiola starts to scramble, get the hands up, go get a batted pass. We'll see a better example here in a second. But again, a little bit of the movement skills. I like the awareness too to get your hands up. Now this one, I think this might have been the next play too, but this is the pass rush clip that got me really excited because he's gonna blitz here on the little green dog blitz of man coverage. Once the running back stays in, and boom,
just damn.
See a little bit of the power, and then when Raiola hangs on to the ball too long, finish it up and go clean it up to go get the sack. So again, this is a grown man rep. Oh, running back damn near sacked the quarterback. On top of that, too, he's got pretty good closing speed. Like this time, he kind of attacks the turn of center. We'll see a better view of it from the end zone view. We're going to see the center turn left or turn to the defense's left, offense's right to go take this shade nose. And then you're going to see Schwesinger. He's going to adjust his path and just attack that side, attack the opening. And then on top of it, too, got the speed to close on the quarterback. One pump fake, or a little bit of indecisiveness from the QB, and he's on him. Go make the sack here. Pretty much the same thing. Again, pretty much attacks the turn of center again. That time, a little bit of a lack of awareness here from the center, but again, we're taking advantage of openings and just the closing speed on the quarterback to be able to go make an impact. So a couple of ways he can impact the passing game. Nice job too. He kind of uses the nose here to his advantage by just kind of staying on him. And again, a little bit of lack of awareness. Go make the sack. So that's I think why you're getting a lot of love with Carson Schwesinger, because he can impact the game in so many different ways. I mean, we saw him, make plays against the run with his instincts and his athleticism. Obviously make plays in coverage with the same kind of stuff, instincts and athleticism, and then can contribute as a pass rusher too. So super productive this past year. Obviously is a one-year wonder, but last year's tape was pretty damn good. The reason why he was an All-American this past season. So
yeah, that was impressive. I was like, okay, is this guy? He might go first round. But I was watching that film. I was like, that's a pretty impressive film for a linebacker. You just wonder how teams will feel about him being a one-year wonder. But with the athleticism, I don't know what UCLA Pro Day looked like for him, but he ran a 40 or anything like that, but it was, you tell me he's very athletic, great hips. He's fluid in his hips. He has the movements to play in coverage like that. And you feel like maybe he could play a little bit of man coverage too, just because of just the athleticism he has. You can see it. But that is somebody the Raiders would have to take at like 37, or if they got lucky and traded back and got some more second round picks, you take it like 48. I don't think he's getting past 50. That's the kind of film that I saw there. You watched, Knight, Demetrius Knight. You're like, okay, maybe that could be like a third round guy that they could take and kind of wait to get a linebacker. But if you want Schwesinger, you're like, he looks like he might sneak into like the 28, 29s or something like that. Somebody taking him around there, and because the film and the athleticism is pretty damn good, and people need linebackers. But the Raiders that's somebody they would have to take at 37.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. He's probably. I don't think he's making it past the second round. The one thing obviously that I didn't show is his ability to take on blocks. I'm like, was pretty bad. Like he was getting put in the ground by a lot of those dudes from Hawaii, those big Polynesian guys. But so that would be kind of the other concern. But again, a guy that doesn't have a ton of experience, if you think that the added weight is will help him in that area, you can easily sell yourself on him as in that late first, second round type of category. I know you brought up UCLA's pro day. He actually had his own private workout. I guess that's the new trend thing where he didn't run the 40, but every other measurement he did was pretty damn impressive. And like I said at the beginning, maintained his combine weight at 240. So again, good to see.
That's good. That's good, man. Yeah, he's a good player though. That was pretty impressive. All right, let's get into Marcus Mbow. All right, so checking out Marcus Mbow here, number 63, him playing right tackle. So you see the athleticism right away. You see just how quick he moves, right? He's getting on this combo block, and then he's able to get back to this player right here, the linebacker that's crashing right there, and get a pancake on this one. You can just see the movement skills right away. I mean, he can move just for him to get back that quickly, and then end up getting that pancake right there. And
that's nice.
Get that quick hand placement right there. He's so great with his hands. He gets his hands right where he needs to be. Ends up getting that pancake there. All right, here's another one here. Running some outside zone here. Now, sometimes the outside zone, he can when he's trying to, when he's reaching here, sometimes he get his what I want to say his waist. What am I trying to say? He basically leans too much. He becomes a leaner. But you see here, he has such good hands that when he wins the leverage battle here, and you see how because he has 32-inch arms, right? I think that's not Sawyer though, but he always is winning that fight, and his hands are always inside right there. So he always ends up having control, and he can control the basically the defender. But you can see sometimes he could just lean a little bit too much, and I'll show a little bit later. But it's just his hands are just so good, and it's so interesting to me because the 32-inch arms playing tackle and being able to get your hands up like that is impressive to me. So you really see his athleticism on this counter run. Just getting a little counter here, and see him just get to the outside, just see how he moves, and he's pushing that guy into the out of bounds. But just look at the movement skills to me. Is what just jumps off the film. It's just how quick he's moving.
He's smooth.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He kind of moves like a blocking tight end when I watch him. Right? But you see, because I mean, even here, when you get here, sometimes there's a lot of tackles that get a little clumsy because this guy ends up winning here, and he can kind of cut him off, right? But he's able to basically avoid it, and then get outside here, and then get up to this linebacker who's overrunning the play regardless. But he makes sure that he keeps overrunning the play, pushes him all the way out of bounds.
Yeah, take the guy where he wants to go. That was a great rep.
Yeah. And you see here, what I like about this one, you see his athleticism here too as well, because he kind of loses this rep to Derek Harmon right here. So he basically gets more outside zone here, right? And Harmon does a good job of getting inside and just using it, basically his power here. He's the lower man. Because Mbow sometimes does have a high pad level. You can see it right here, right? I mean, the pad level is way too high. And Harmon's able to get it inside there, but you see the balance that he has. He's able to keep his balance. Boom, right? Great balance. And then he's able to close him off right there. seal him off and reset. Because, I mean, it's the hands, too. Like, you see where his hands are, even when he's getting bullied here. Because Harmon doesn't win the hand fight. He's basically, his hands are outside. He's able to reset, get his hand back inside there, and then control him.
Yeah, because that was ugly up until the end.
Yeah, exactly. And then he loves to snatch and trap, so he tries to do this to everybody. But this one more kind of the show is basically more of his athleticism, how he's just able to get to that second level, see how quick he's able to move. He tries to snatch and trap that guy, but he still makes a good enough block to kind of lead the jet sweep here.
Yeah. I mean, the burst out of the gate too was nice.
Yeah.
Beats Betcher to the spot there.
All right, next one here. See on this one too. You got number 0 coming around, and like I said, this kind of feels like more of a pass set here, just because of the RPO.
Yeah.
But you still see the hands here, right? Boom, his hands are inside there. Mm-hmm. Even with that guy has a little bit of longer reach than him, number 0, he's still able to get that hand and he's able to knock it down.
Yeah,
he does a great job of. I mean, you could tell, like, when you have shorter arms, that's one of his tactics, is to kind of just knock guys' arms down to make sure he can get his hands back inside there.
Yeah.
So it is nice that way. Another run play here. See again here. Boom, like I said, the hands inside. He always wanted the hand fight. He gets his his ability. He's able to, kind of close the gap here. He basically get his body inside too, and that's what I like, because when you have those short arms and you know to play around it, I just like that. It's called self-awareness to me. I like that in the player.
Yeah, yeah. Know how you're built and adjust.
Another rep here. Here in the counter, one more time. This one is that was just him being a bully on this one. But even then, like, I'll show another play here, but like you can kind of see a little bit of the play strength sometimes, because he's just not like. I feel like some guy that's a chance to destroy this guy a little bit.
Yeah,
but I mean it is a good block here, but also you could just see the athleticism in it too, like it's. And why he's a fit in all these systems. Like, I mean, if you want to pull him, you could do pin pulls with him. You could do outside zone. It works really well with him. And you can see him kind of get to the second level on this one. And just how quick he gets there on this combo block. So he gets the combo block, right? And then he gets to the middle linebacker. Even though, like I said, it has the high pad level here sometimes, kind of getting up there. But ends up working out on this one. But you just see the movement skills he has. Like, I can work with that.
Yeah.
So it's about him leaning a little bit too much here, and you see it on this one, right? Just he gets caught leaning, and even though he has the hand placement, it doesn't matter because he gets caught off balance. 92 is able to kind of swim back here, make a good play on the ball, kind of basically slow that running back down enough where number 0 is able to kind of recover and make that tackle. So because he doesn't have a lot of strength, and that's what. Like, he's not a mauler. He's more of like I would say he's definitely a zone guy. But it's when you're playing inside and you're going to be playing against stronger guys. It's why his value goes down a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right. Because even this one, I mean, you see 28. 28 is not the biggest guy in the world right here. He's a smaller linebacker, and he's pulling around here. And he has good pad level here, but this time he's not using his hands or anything like that. And like 28 is just able to kind of control him and just kind of toss him a little bit.
Yeah.
So it gets a little worrisome there, right? You just want a little more play strength there.
Yeah, when you lean and don't use your hands, that's going to happen to you a lot, because you're going to be way off balance and no way to recover.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into pass protection here. So. But I just want to talk about, mostly I'm talking about his hands, because you even see it here, right? I mean, gets his hands up really quickly. He's able to win that hand fight and control Jack Sawyer there. So you even see like the the feet is not great. And you can even see it on our rep there. But it's the hand fight that he is just so well. He's got Jack Sawyer. He's not able to win the leverage battle or get past him because he's able to control his hands the whole time. You can even see it, him holding the hands down. He has some really good reps here against Ohio State. Here's another one here. See on this one, you see him win the hand fight again here. Boom, he's got his hands inside first. He wins there, and he's able to control him a little bit there. Even though I think if this guy had a little bit more power, and he can catch him leaning, because like I said, his anchor isn't that great because his feet are just sometimes just way too close together, and he's not a really great base. So he could, like in the NFL, like it's something I would worry about, but it's you just want to see what he could do at guard because it is two different positions. So, but in my opinion, like if players went down, I think he could play right tackle. It's good enough. You know what I mean? In
a pinch kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a nice snatch and trap.
Yeah, right there.
Perfect.
That's not Herman though, but
no, I think that's Mateo.
Yeah, but he loves doing that snatch and trap right there. That's a great move, great technique right there. All right, another rep here. So you get a little fake punch on this one, I believe. A little fake punch there. Fake punch, kind of show his hands, but he's still able to get his hands inside first. Like his punch timing is just so great. That's what I really like about it. Because having those short arms here and still getting your hands on there after doing a fake punch is pretty impressive.
Yeah. I always like college tackles that throw the fake punch. It's usually more advanced.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's another one.
Yeah. See, here we go. Like try to go for the chop, another little fake punch here. Gets him to show the chop. Right. Yeah. And then he's able to control it afterwards, right? And then drive him to the ground. It's a great rep. So like his hands are just so great. He's so great with his hands. He'll win a lot of more reps there like that. So I'll talk about kind of the oversetting a little bit here. You kind of see it here. He's able to reset on this one because, like I said, he's so athletic. He's able to reset that time. But that is a flaw that he has. It's a big flaw kind of issue that you'll see there, but he's able to reset on that one.
And that's Oregon's twos right there.
Oh, yeah, I see. You say that was the ones that it wouldn't work out that way.
Yeah, probably not.
we'll see that later though. But like I said, it's all about the hand because like even here, like when you look at his set here, you kind of see it. Look at his feet. It's just like he almost clicks up at one point in time. Like he really has to fix his feet. You really got to fix that. But inside, it might fix itself just because just stance, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt. What do you say?
I was just gonna say, like you're talking about his stance, like right if you pause it right at the start.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see right now, like his feet are inside, like his heels are inside his shoulders. You know what I mean? So like that's gonna lead to a lot of heel clicking.
It's a good job picking up the stunt. The rest of the line didn't do so well, but he did a good job seeing this. Jack Sawyer had like 3 sacks in this game.
Yeah. Reason why Purdue was like 1-11.
Exactly. All right, and this is what I'm talking about, the feet here as well. He's not able to get outside here, and it just like he just ends up just chasing Sawyer. He's basically just chasing him. It's like he's in full chase mode. Sawyer gets off. This little rip move, able to get around the corner there, get to the sack the quarterback because he was in full chase mode there. And here's a couple reps of him just oversetting. This guy able to get inside there, and then he can't recover this time. Like it's Oregon, he can recover. This time, nope. Number 3 just pushes him to the other side, maybe because the quarterback's moving a little bit. But even then, I mean, this is a pressure he's giving up here just from oversetting.
Sorry, go back to that. Did he step with his inside foot first?
Yeah, he did.
Or did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Oh, that was ugly.
Yeah. See, and then with how athletic he is, like he's able to reset a little bit on this one too.
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't matter because they're running a stunt, and then he comes right around it. So it's set up perfectly. Quick pressure there. All right. And then even this one, like, this is a good rep here too. Kind of, it's not really, I'm not gonna say it's a good rep, but you can see his athleticism and the ability to recover because he's getting beat up here, but he still has the athleticism to recover there. Allow that quarterback to get out of the pocket. Yeah, but yeah, that's Marcus Mbow. Like I said, there's a lot of things to like, in my opinion. But as a tackle, that's why you see him even with the with the arms. Like, let's move you inside. Let's move you inside there, sir. But yeah, it was some good film. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it a little bit too. Like when we were talking about it, like I think what gives himself, like what speaks well to his athleticism is his technique, and his feet are all over the place. Yet he was like still able to recover and like actually have effective reps. So it's one of those things where like, man, like if you get your feet down, maybe like and like we could really tap into that athleticism, you might have something here. Yeah. And the other thing I did like about his game too, and you kind of touched on this, where like, yes, he has the short arms, but he does a great job of coming underneath and like using that to his like help get his leverage advantage. And like he has decent hand placement and whatnot. So that can help kind of overcome the shorter arms and whatnot at the second level. But he definitely seems like more of a guard. Just got to put a little size on him and maybe turn him up a notch a little bit and get that finishing mentality in him on the inside. Yeah. But yeah, definitely lots of like, especially athletically, because again, there were a lot of sloppy footwork that he wasn't getting beat on just because he could move a little bit.
Yeah, to be honest, it is kind of similar to Parham. I mean, just the size and yeah, a little of the movement skills that Parham does, because Parham is very athletic too. So it's a little bit kind of the similarities there to their film. But like I said, if like right tackles went down, like I would feel better, with him like going in there and playing right tackle like at that at that time than him like being a right tackle in the NFL. Yeah, he's a guard for sure. That's for sure, dude. All right. Any other thoughts here, Matt? Before we get to more of these players moving on this week, we got 20 days left. We're moving here about 3 weeks, man.
I know, right? We're inside of 3 weeks till the draft, so looking forward to it. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. The pick at number 6 is going to be kind of wide open, especially with how the board seems to be falling. So I feel like it's a little bit of mystery. We might be in for a surprise, but looking forward to it, man. We got a couple episodes to highlight a few more guys before the draft comes, and it'll be time to get going.
Yeah, man. We'll be live really, with those picks. All right, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. We are out of here. Peace.